Hello and welcome. It's a good day to be on the farm. My name is Chuck, and this is my farm tour series on No Man's Land. So, this is where I give you a map of my farmyard or how I've set up my farm on any given map and just kind of let you see what I have going on. So, No Man's Land is the first, or at least the first one that I was aware of, map where it gave you, let me just show my map here, where it gave you a map that had all of these $85,000, I think they're $85,000. Let me see. $85,000 lots. Yeah, 85, 85, 85. So you just kind of start on a blank map where you can kind of do whatever you want. Let me trigger that off. And you buy a lot. As you just saw, I only own one lot. That's 45 right here. There's 60 available. 56 is where you start with the farm, the farm shop, where you can buy all your equipment. And then there's this kind of main road that you can faintly see there that heads out to the base yard in the map. There's forestry, there's other things that you can buy. You basically buy whatever you want. And just to show you one more time, this is all I own. I spent $85,000 on this lot right here, and that's all I did. So everything that you see, or I'm going to show you, is going to be in this box 45. So I started a grass care farm basically, and built it up the best that I could. You have to get a plow and plow all these lots. So this was literally just a field with some trees. I did have to get a chainsaw and a stump grinder and do a few things like that as well. And I have created these 4 grass fields that you can see. When we started the video, here's the first field I made, which is to the right here. When you started the video, you saw that I was doing grass rolling, which gives you an extra fertilization state. And that's why this grass to my right looks so much like a tennis court, with that dark green, which I really love how that looks when you do this here. So I will show you. Let me just zoom in real quick. So here is my grass. It is growing, 95% yield bonus, 100% fertilized. So this is the maximum I have been able to get on this map, is 95 and 100, but it does produce a lot of grass, which is nice. So every time I mow, I go back and roll, which is what I was doing on that second field when we got here. Also dropped this tiny little house, which is where I sleep. It's right here. The bed is actually right there. It folds down, and there is a little bathroom back here. But so this is my housing, or how I reset the day to the next day if we need to. It's not triggering. There we go. To show you, that's my sleep trigger here. Originally, I just put in this shed and used this for my base. I have now expanded and have a little bit more stuff. And then I've got a couple of tractors here. I got this Zetter, which is my small one that I use with the front loader. The reason I put the front loader on is I want to give you a tour of kind of what I've got going. So I started just making grass bales, then eventually started making hay bales as well, and then got to the point where I could have the sheep here start to produce wool for me. So that is kind of the side benefit. I'm doing all this grass, mainly making silage to make my money. Made hay bales somewhere in the middle there, but the goal is to make this wool. Why is that not? Oh, I'm under it. Let me get a little bit higher. I have to get like a 3/4 view, and then I can get it. All right, so here is 1,000 liters of wool we're going to carry around with us, because I'm going to show you what we've got going next. Those 4 bales over here, let me just get out real quick. These are hay bales. I'm feeding the sheep hay right now in this lot, and I've got a whole bunch more hay back here stored up because, like I said, I'm doing grass mainly, and I've done grass on these 4 fields that I've made. I obviously have a tedder and have turned some of that into hay at some point in time. So I've got this field to the left, which has been harvested. This field that I was rolling when I started the video also has been harvested. This one is growing. Will be ready to harvest next month, but I'll probably let it go 2 months to get the full state of harvest there, or the full length grass, so you can get the most out of that. I left these 2 trees here, and I've kind of just made this little path for myself to get back here to my 4th field, which stretches all across the top of box 45. Sorry, I hired a worker to do some of my rolling, and he decided to roll into my grass field up here, which I don't really appreciate. But Here's the fourth field. And so as you can see, I kind of filled every little bit. Let me just zoom in. So this is my box 45. My first field was down here in the corner, these two in the middle, and then these two up, or this one up here. And as you can see, when you do roll it, you get that double fertilized state. I've just got this little part to finish on this one, and then obviously next time I harvest this, that third field, I can roll that as well. Last thing I've added to this playthrough on No Man's Land is a way to make more for my wool. So here is the spinnery, and we're going to drop this wool off here like so. And that is the first wool I've actually put into the spinnery. So let me jump into my production chain here. So I now have 998 liters of wool and hopefully pretty soon 1 liter of fabric. So I'm making fabric wool, and then I also have built a tailor shop, which for every 2 wool will make some clothes. So we're essentially going to take the wool from the sheep that we're feeding with the hay from our fields, bring it over here, drop it in the spinner. Once the wool fabric comes out on the right over here, we'll bring it over to this farm shop, which is our tailor, drop it off right here where the little drop-off icon is, and back here we'll be able to pick up clothes and use those to sell to the shop. So that's kind of the goal so far. In addition to making silage, we're also going to be making wool and clothing, because those things come from the grass that we have made. Eventually, when I have the money to get a harvester, I will plant some other crops and start expanding the business, but this is working really well on No Man's Land. This was my first kind of start from scratch map. As you can see, I've got this Kloss here. What is an Axion? Yeah, Axion 830, which is my main workhorse. Here's my baler that does the wrapping. I've got this trailer here full of bales that I'm waiting to ferment to silage. They're 52, 53%. I also have this stack of bales, which I just did today, which are only 7 and 9%. Here's my windrower. I do the front attach windrower, so I can basically windrow and bale in one pass. Got a fuel tank here, my repair shop here, and then my other garage here, in which I have a weeder, a tedder, and my stump grinder from when I remove the trees. And I got a great deal on this Challenger. I haven't used it a whole lot, but I got a great deal on it. So if I ever do want to get a really big plow to start making really big fields, that's why I got that Challenger. So let me just show you the last little bit, and that kind of wraps up the rest of the farm. So grass, more grass, hay, silage, and now some wool. All right, so if you come back down this main road here that I've got cutting across my property, and I did paint this in a little bit to get some of that because it was faintly there. If you go by by my house in my first shed, this is the edge of my property. I painted as far as I could. I do not have access to this land right here because, again, this is now in box 46. And so eventually I will buy box 46 so that I can finish this road out past this little tree to the main road here. And then if you follow this road down, this takes you back to the farm shop. So hope you guys liked this video. I know it was short, but not a lot to show when you're only working one box, but I'm still pretty proud of this farm. 14 hours in, and we've got quite a bit of silage going. So this is the main road that runs north-south back to the farm shop, and this is where you buy everything when you start on No Man's Land. That's about it. Lots of room to expand, lots of other things that I can do, but just wanted to give you guys the quick tour of where I am at on my No Man's Land playthrough and just kind of how that's going. All right, well, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. Give it a like if you liked it. Drop a comment if you want to tell me how your No Man's Land map is going. And subscribe if you haven't. Catch you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.